Welcome back, everybody. Sive is here with the ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's take a look again on the Forex market, mostly on the euro currency. So today we discussed what has changed since the recent session and in what stage our trading plan stands right now. So what we're going to do on today's session, what options we have, as usual, all of the stuff that we discussed day by day. So in fact, with today's session, we've got everything that we would like to get, at least based on our discussion yesterday. So take a look by yourself. Market is flirting with the MACD. With this grabber is a bit interesting story. I will tell you just a few minutes later. But in general, if we take a look at the dollar index, you could see that we have this grabber. Yes, this session is not closed yet. Market has to stay above the red line to confirm this pattern. But at least on the dollar index, we're getting it. And it means that the dollar should move higher and above this top. So in general, we're considering this double bottom pattern. It's a long play pattern, and it's probably, if it starts working, it all will be play even longer with this upward continuation to the big target of this pattern. But for now, we're focused just on a possible upward continuation of the dollar and reaching of the neckline of this pattern around 100 even area. Correspondingly, if we have this pattern on the dollar index, it's parallel analysis, cross-market analysis to euro currency suggests that probably the euro should keep going lower. Although on the euro currency, we're, well, not quite get this grabber. So for example, on my retail broker chart FXCM, here with my calculation of the MACD, we have this grabber. But if you take a look at the spot Forex and trading view, you could see that we haven't got it yet, just for a few pips. And the same story on the futures. So here is, by the way, the futures chart. But if you just take a look on the trading view spot market of the big houses such as Saxo Bank or Anda, the same FXCM or other providers of their trading on the spot Forex, you also will see that we haven't got this grabber yet. So what does it mean? It means, well, in general that, well, actually, euro currency is a bit different compared to dollar, although it takes the big part inside of the index. But in fact, the getting this pattern here, it's already important stuff. On absence of the grabber on euro currency, just a couple of months. First of all, we could get it, for example, tomorrow, when the MACD will move slightly lower. Market still could flirt around it, and we'll get pattern a bit later. Or on euro currency, it might be another minor upper reduction, maybe within the session, where market still could touch the grabber. That's particularly the scenario that we need to keep an eye on. So if you take a look at the lower time frames on the 4 time frame chart, market exactly at the 1685 area that we discussed, and we said take a look. This performance is not bearish. We suggest the market should keep going higher. Next level it will be watching for 1685. So approximately we're in an area where we thought about taking the bearish position, right? And here's, guys, by the way, very interesting difference. So let's just take a look at the euro currency spot market, where market stands here. You can see it mostly stands inside of the same consolidation. And take a look where it stands on futures. It stands below this consolidation. So currently, in fact, this consolidation stands at the resistance. So that's the difference between the futures price and the spot price. And actually, you could see the same difference on the dollar index. Here is market stands also as on the futures chart, above the same consolidation that we see on the spot market. So currently, in fact, this area also will work like the support on the dollar index and corresponding resistance on the euro currency. So on the 4 time frame chart, we stand where we would like to. But on the hourly chart, you could see that market hasn't quite reached the XOP target. So just for approximately 15 pips, 15-20 pips here, this market hasn't quite reached it. What does it mean? It means that theoretically it might be another attempt market to complete it, which is particularly could lead us to a MACD indicator on the daily chart and give us the grabber pattern. So if market will move slightly lower, slightly higher, we could get this grabber because market will touch finally the line. So, but this is of course not for sure. Usually in such circumstances, when some important target stands just above the market, most probable pattern here, most common pattern, is a butterfly. So very often market forms a kind of the butterfly to complete and finalize the target does stand slightly above the market. So here, as you can see, for example, might be 127 butterfly here. It will complete the XOP. But of course, I can't be sure definitely, because here we do not see yet any shape. So we could see that market just move slightly lower with this upward tendency. So that brings some, well, maybe not the risk, but at least it brings some uncertainty and the chance that if we will be waiting for XOP target, we could appear to be out of the market. So if by some reason market just collapsed here, this also might happen. So if you have the strong mentality, I would suggest that better to wait. So personally, I prefer in current situations to wait and get the position and entry at the point that I would like to get it, rather than just searching for some compromises. But just as an option, if you're not sure, or maybe that will be acceptable to you, I do not know. So you could, for example, split the position, because anyway, if you take the position here, you will have to place your stop above the XOP target, just because this is part of our bearish scenario. So if market will reach it, it will not mean that bearish scenario is destroyed. So correspondingly, you anyway have to include it in this bearish scenario, and you will have to place your stop above this area. Whether it's acceptable to you or not, you will have to calculate by yourself. But one of the options, as you know, so it might be just taking minor part of the position, place stop above this area, and see what will happen. This approach has the only advantage is that if collapse really will start and grabber on the dollar index starts working without touching the XOP, you will be in the market and you already have the good short entry. Otherwise, you will have to add more to your position when the XOP will be touched to get some average. So that is towards what we have, but in general, overall picture looks as we would like to get it, as we would like to see it. So let's see what will happen next.